Hello everyone, welcome to the Redmen TV. It was Leicester 3, it was Liverpool 1, and the Reds continue the recent trend of finding new, cruel and unusual ways in which to break our hearts and ruin our weekends. From 1-0 up with a wondrous goal from Mohamed Salah, with arguably Liverpool's second best assist of the season after Xherdan Shaqiri's one at West Ham. Gave us a lead, and Liverpool were very good value for it, very much on top, very much in control. A VAR decision goes against Liverpool. Two VAR decisions actually go against Liverpool almost. And they concede, and then they absolutely capitulate. And yet we end up in a situation once again where we're talking about a Liverpool defeat, a team that so rarely lost games in the last few seasons, that looks so brittle, so lacking in confidence, so much a shell of the side that they form aware, that it's becoming a situation where we're lost for the words to adequately sum it up, really. But we're going to try our best, and I'm going to be open to your comments here right now. If you are a YouTube member at any tier, you can get involved with the live chat. I've picked a few choice ones out from Twitter as well, so if you ever want to get in touch that way, it's at the Redmen TV. But I'll start with it. If you want to get a comment read to me, just put Mate at the start of it, and I'll come through a few of them. I'll go right back up to the start. Charles Joseph saying, what WTF is going on with us now? I'm so fed up. Frogo says, gonna be honest, don't think we're winning the league this year. Yeah, I think we can all probably go out on a limb here and say this might be a season. It might just be too far. I mean, given that there's a chance that Liverpool are going to be somewhere between 6th and 9th by the end of the weekend, I think that's probably a fair assessment. Dan Berry says, mate, please explain how we can play well for 3 quarters and end up losing 3-1, pissed off again. And actually, there's a follow-up comment from Prajesh Pujari saying 3 quarters, more like 7/8. And that's the point, 7.5/9 of the match. Liverpool were all right. I mean, Leicester did have some chances, but you'd expect that through a good team. And Alisson stood up firm and was really good. And then, yeah, it's just mad. It's just completely and utterly mad. And, you know, we're left with a situation once again where there's a marginal VAR call. And I can't even continue to talk about them, because I think if you're dead set on VAR and what it does and what it brings, then they're the decisions that can go for or against you because of the way that it's used. It's mad to me that, like, the flag goes up and then they go and they judge it, and then it then becomes that arbitrary thing of if you move it a millimetre the line here or there, does the decision go one way or the other? It seems mad. It just seems mad to me. But here's the thing: we can complain about VAR, and we can do. It seems just horrendously picky. But how Liverpool react to that situation is where the game is lost. Because let's be honest, it's 1-1. You get a draw away from home at Leicester, and you can go, okay, I can rationalise that. You know, nothing gained, nothing lost. Liverpool have lost their heads and were 6 points behind Leicester now because they couldn't react to that kind of situation. This is the problem now: is a cumulative, there's an accumulation of just defeats in all sorts of areas, not just losing football matches, which we're doing far too much of, but in emotional, psychological battles that we're losing along the way. And Liverpool aren't reacting to it in a way that you need to do if you want to come out on top. And absolutely shocking. And Edward Andre Red Wolf is saying, we collapsed like a plane made of balls. Well, we collapsed like a paper aeroplane in the rain, to be perfectly honest. And it's such a shame because I can't even muster the positives, but we were fine, you know, for 76 minutes of that game. We were fine, and then we just weren't, in the worst possible way, really. Welcome Daniel Quinlan, who's joined as a new member, and Jose Pereira as well. Get your comments in, guys. Frogo saying Kabak is 20, Reece Williams is 20. People expecting to be like Virgil really need to wake up. Yeah, look, it's going to be a very long time before they get settled properly. Charles Joseph saying Alisson needs to give his head a massive wobble. What was he thinking? I'm not having that as a goalkeeper fault, and maybe that's just me just going for the goalkeeper union defence. But the only way I said this in the live stream. If Alisson's not giving Kabak a proper shout, like a proper lung-busting scream that it's the goalkeeper's ball, then that is on Alisson. But if the goalkeeper shouted, Kabak needs to get out the way. He's on the tracks and the train's coming through, as far as I'm concerned, from the goalkeeper. His job is to be proactive, is to deal with things in behind. Kabak gets a bit, too focused on the ball. And they both just get in each other's way. It happens, but this is the problem, is that I can look at all these instances that gone against Liverpool now for the last 2 months almost and go, they do happen, it's football, yada, yada, yada. It's just that they keep happening. These random instances that happen, normally happen in isolation throughout a season or over several seasons, have been condensed now into a run, and it's all just it's on top. And it's hard to deal with it, unfortunately. But no, it is what it is. Jack Civil said, makes it finally time to accept Thiago's start at Liverpool's been underwhelming. Thought he was dreadful today, gave the ball away countless times and created next to nothing, very poor. I don't know. It strikes me that it's a bit fresh. I don't think he was great. I thought he was fine. I thought he was okay. I think, considering that he obviously wasn't, I think he was meant to play half an hour here, so he was more fit and fresh for midweek. Having to make that substitution's not ideal. The fact that he's involved with giving away the free kick on the edge of the area doesn't help his case in particular. I think his start has been underwhelming. I think it's fair to say, but it's whether we think it's underwhelming because it's underwhelming because he's a good player, or it's underwhelming. I think there's people who think it's underwhelming because he's crap or whatever, which is obviously just mad, isn't it? But no, I think that's fair. And I think he's been unlucky in terms of his ride back into the first team. He needs to play games to get sharp. Then we've played him loads, and he probably just needs to actually be pulled out a little bit. But we haven't really got the options to do that, and certainly not now. Just look at Oxlade-Chamberlain. Poor lad. I don't really know what he brings to the Liverpool side anymore. But yeah, it's mad. Genuinely mad. FPL Skills saying we need a settled centre-back partnership. Couldn't agree more, mate. The Invader 97 injuries clearly hurting this side for the team who've been so mentally strong over the last 2 years. To capitulate in the manner they did after the equaliser is a real concern. I 100% agree with that. Reece Bahia with the £5 super chat. Thank you so much. Reece says, you'll never walk alone. It's easy to sing when we're flying high, but it's more important when the storm is raging. Yeah, no, you're dead right. We are, 15 minutes after the football match that Liverpool lost, that they were winning in a game that we really could have done with winning, and they've turned what would have been an absolutely brilliant win. Make no mistakes, that if Liverpool won that 1-0, that would have been a brilliant win into a really, really, really bad defeat. So I understand. Look, again, we'll all dust ourselves down. Today's a day for anger and annoyance and frustration and sadness and all those kind of things, but inevitably we'll find a way to dust ourselves down before the Champions League game on Tuesday. Jordan Robinson with the super chat saying the whole team has been a bloody disgrace, to be fair. No, I don't think so. I thought Trent was, again, it's tough because, again, it sounds like when I'm trying to defend, I don't want to defend people's outrage because, please have it. You're entitled to it. We all feel it at the moment. But, I thought Robertson had a good game. I thought Trent had a good game. I thought Henderson was having a pretty good game until the point where we get unpicked. I thought Alisson had a good game, apart from being caught in that tangle with the centre half. I thought Mane had a good game. I thought, Salah was a little bit in and out, but he was getting into really dangerous positions for us, took his goal really well. Bobby Firmino, wondrous assist. And they're the games where you go away from home against a tough team who, and I said this during commentary, with all the players missing from Liverpool, we are at Leicester's level. Now, we've dropped into the pack, and there's a chance that we actually might drop below that if we don't get things sorted pretty sharpishly. So to go away and create a couple of really good opportunities and dominate the ball and all that kind of stuff away from home at Leicester, that's a good performance. But again, we've just fallen a bit. It's mad. It's absolutely mad. I'll do this every time. Ray Charles could see that was Ali's ball. Thiago had a stinker, and it was heartbreaking to watch us crumble like that. No game management. Yeah, the game management, it's got to come from on the pitch, and that's one of those situations where Jordan Henderson playing at centre-half is not ideal, because Jordan Henderson wants to go and grab the game, and he can't grab the game from centre-half. And I think, does that destabilise what we're doing at the back? Maybe you've then got a 20-year-old lad who's you know, he's come from a losing mentality. You know, at Chelsea, he could just do with being able to drop into a couple of games and having them be event-free. And he was having an event-free game until the point where he ended up absolutely with his feet to the flames for the final 15, and he's right there with all things that go wrong, and that's the nature of where we're at the moment. Real shame. Jack Owens, £2 super chat, saying opinion on the push on Mane, foul, fair. I think I've not seen it back. My view was it was a foul, and Anthony Taylor was like that all game long. Is the inconsistencies in his decision making were horrendous at times. Some of the things he gave free kicks for and then didn't give, you know, Salah should have a penalty in the first half. Mane should get a free kick for that. There's plenty of times where both of them get wrestled or shoved to the ground, and it's mad, very mad indeed. Brian Glow, makes you think this might make us fully focus on the Champions League. Liverpool would have been focused on the Champions League 100% regardless. If Liverpool 100% focus on the Champions League, we're going to fuck this season completely. This season will be a fucking disaster. We're going to end up in the Europa League or worse if Liverpool fully focus on the Champions League. Liverpool need to fully focus on the Premier League. The Champions League can get in the fucking bin as far as I'm concerned this season, because unless you're going to go and win it, which is possible, not likely on the performances we've put in of late, if we get past Leipzig, we're going to get someone really good with a good strong 11. They're going to kill us. But the Champions League is going to end up as a fucking stupid distraction, and maybe one that we don't need at this point. Until Liverpool can show me that they can win games of football, until we win 3 games back to back, then the Champions League is a stupid, noisy distraction. Because if we don't finish in the top 4, then that is a catastrophic season for Liverpool moving forward. It is what it is, unfortunately. Adam Morsey saying, Paul, explain to me how the Pereira foul on Salah in the first half in the box is at all different from the Thiago tackle. Refs are discussing. I completely agree on that. It's just one of them. None of them are like, oh, blood and thunder, gutsy, it's a horrendous foul, blah, blah, blah. The Salah one is much of a... It's just a penalty. It's just a penalty. It's so annoying. And that's the problem with this, is that there's shit performances in Liverpool, and there's a shit mentality that's undone the team, but they come from a variety of situations where if the officiating's better, it's not as much of a big deal. Now, here's the thing, when you've got a strong mentality and things are going your way, you brush them off and you go and win the games regardless. But Liverpool are suffering from a cacophony of crapness all around them that's just forming up to making us be really, really shit and losing football games. I got a few from Twitter before I pop back over for the live chat. Josh Linehan says, embarrassing last 25 minutes, had the game under control and bottled it. Get Hendo out of that back 4 and bench Thiago, who doesn't fit the style at all. Nah. At the minute, I mean, it means putting Nat Phillips in alongside Kabak. I think it's too hard. I'm going to sound stupid saying this because we've just literally collapsed and conceded 3 goals. But I don't think that game would have been better for us if we'd had... I mean, look, if Fabinho's fit, Henderson's in midfield, and I think it's a different game. I don't think Milner was meant to go another game of football here, because you can see how he only lasts 15 minutes in that. It's a very, very difficult situation the manager's got now. We've not got the volume of players. I mean, I'm just looking at the bench now. We had Shaqiri, Oxlade-Chamberlain, Milner, who you could all think would all be capable of coming on and making a positive change to the team. Shaqiri, Oxlade-Chamberlain and Thiago, and Milner comes on for Thiago, and then you're left with Shaqiri and Oxlade-Chamberlain. If we put Henderson in midfield, it means putting Reece Williams, or Nat Phillips at the back, alongside a 20-year-old who hasn't really learned how to play, who's the leader there, whose job is to run the defence there. It's tough. It's tough. Biggest challenge here in Klopp's managerial career is looming in the next couple of weeks. I wouldn't trust anyone more on planet Earth to sort it than him and the backroom staff, but they need to sort it out soon. Aman says Mane fouled at 1-1 before their goal. We were just shit though. Yeah, I mean, look, yeah. Sliding doors, things go slightly differently. If it's a different VAR, this is the problem. If it's somewhere a different official at the VAR control panel could judge that slightly differently, I think. And that's the worst of VAR. And when you boil it down to teeny tiny lines in those kind of moments and where you're drawing them all from, it becomes subjective again. And then whatever. Corey Flint's just not fun anymore, is it? I couldn't have put it any better, Corey. You're dead right. It's not fun. And Jalissa Castrodale saying, glad we decided to welcome Ozan Kabak by becoming Schalke. Yeah. Right, welcome aboard. Dean Hayes is the first teamer over on YouTube. Members. Yeah, pretty poor the refereeing focus on the Prem, yeah. Adam, if we don't get top 4, we'll go back years. Players will leave and players will be reluctant to come to us. Also, VAR has killed the English game. Yep, Ollie Talbot, we need to change now. We need consistency. But this is the problem, we don't need to fucking change now. We need to stay the same for a bit. 17th difference centre-back partnership of the season. 17th. That's insane. It's insane. How are you meant to do this? It's just mad. I don't have the words anymore because there's nothing we can do about it. There's nothing we can do. I mean, very rarely anything we can do about these things anyway in general football. But like, never, we're so far removed from it more now than ever. And I just preaching blind faith. Blind faith gets you into a lot of trouble in a lot of situations. But yeah, that's what we're looking for at the moment. There's a bank of faith that Liverpool have built up over a number of years, so it's not truly blind. But on the basis of the evidences, the performances, and the mentality that we've seen from Liverpool in the last couple of weeks and the capitulations, yeah, they need to prove to us that they're capable of doing it. And I don't know. I don't really know. We've not really got a choice but to ride it out, unfortunately. Yeah. Anyway, Liverpool gave it up. It's so annoying. We should be sat here talking about what a really good performance it was from Liverpool. They handled it brilliant until they didn't, and unfortunately, until they didn't is too big a thing to just sort of brush off at the moment. Anyway, shite. I normally feel loads better at the end of these, but I don't because it's cumulative and it's adding up and it's adding a weight on, and I can't be arsed. Can't be asked anymore. But I'll be back. I'll be back with the Instant Match Reaction. It's going to be me and Ross doing that in about half an hour's time. And then the Final Word show, which is for members, I could change the names, for Wonder Kids and Cult Heroes, get the Final Word show live. Me, Chris, Ross and Ben. So do stay tuned for that one as well. But yeah, thanks so much for Paul Routledge for joining as a member. And for Charles Joseph for the Super Chats, says I feel like crying. Yeah, David, have one. Have a big cry and get it out, mate. It can't make you feel worse. James Lim, we've got a small squad and the injuries is taking its toll. Squad players that didn't expect to start do week in, week out. Yeah. Read Paul Tompkins on the Tompkins Times if you want to get a deeper insight into why Liverpool aren't performing. It won't necessarily make you feel any better because it's not a fixable thing. But look, yeah, it'll be what it'll be, and they'll either sort it out or they won't. Unfortunately, that is football, and we have no choice but to support our team through thick and thin. And if that's not cool with you, then footy's probably not for you. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. Do drop a like on the video. Do check back for player ratings, which will be an absolute shit show. I would avoid that, to be honest. Come back for the Instant Match Reaction a bit. We'll have a bit more chat and hopefully try and find some sort of sense in it all. And yeah, the Final Word show looming as well. So thank you so much, guys, for all the super chats, for the new members. You guys are amazing. You give me hope and inspiration in dark times. You guys are the best. And I hope to see you soon. Thank you so much for watching the Redmen TV YouTube channel. Everything we do here is funded by our wonderful subscribers to the redmentv.com. Get over there, sign up and get amazing additional content, interviews, documentaries, mini-series, and of course additional pre and post match day content.